you ever been in a position or a place in your life where you're like, or you ever just been like sitting down and in your mind, like there's something that you need to do, or you look at your watch or you look at your phone and you see what time it is, and you have X amount of things to do in a day, and you're like, well, I still got a whole bunch of time. I still got all this time to do whatever I need to do. And then you get caught up in something, and then you look at your watch again or you look at your phone again and see that like 3 hours have passed. This may be something that like not everyone experiences. I think it's common, but I think there may be some underlying things that cause people to do this. But sometimes I found myself like almost being like paralyzed or stuck sometimes. Like I know there's something I need to do or multiple things that I need to do. And sometimes I get in this place where I feel as if like I can't move. And I don't mean like I physically can't move, but it's like I'll be 100% conscious and aware of what it is that I need to do while being in the state of quote unquote procrastination. Like I'll be watching something or doing something and I'll know like, I need to go do that thing. But it's like, I almost can't even will myself to do it. Although I know I'm supposed to be doing it. It's the craziest feeling ever. But I think I think there's a lot of people that can be very productive. There's a lot of people that could do massive things with themselves in their lives if it weren't for procrastination, and if it wasn't for this tendency to put things off, And I'm finding myself not necessarily falling behind, but maybe not being in the position or place that I could be, just due to the fact that I procrastinate. But aside from that, there's always the idea of discipline as well. I think when your discipline starts to sort of waver a bit, that turns into more procrastination beginning to creep into your life, at least in my own experience. I find myself loosening up on my discipline and allowing more things to kind of like slip through the cracks. And the more that I do that, the more that that discipline to just get up and do that thing when I know I need to do it, it just kind of starts to get harder and harder. And it's like more and more and more resistance towards, getting into action, so to speak. But it's crazy because there's always that voice in your head, like I was talking about before, when I say like I could be very conscious and aware of what it is that I need to do, and that thing in my head is telling me like, do it. You need to go and do that thing, and it's always telling you what to do. But I guess there's like this latency between the voice itself or a delay between the voice itself and the actual physical action that makes it difficult. But discipline is like, that's one of the biggest things, because I know at a certain point in my life where I was just so on point that it wasn't really that difficult to not procrastinate. And there would be times, bro, where I would go like a full week sometimes without even looking at a screen aside from my phone for a little bit of time during the day, you know what I mean? But like wouldn't get on the computer, wouldn't turn the TV on, you know what I'm saying? Like where I was just doing the things that I needed to do all day. But now I find myself, more screen time, whether that be watching podcasts or just screen time in general. And procrastination's a big thing, man. It's huge. It's huge. And but I think the conclusion that I've come to is that forming discipline, higher levels of discipline, and getting back into that mode of just disciplining yourself when it comes to your life in general, not just any one thing, but your life in general, will definitely allow you to sort of move away from the procrastination so much, because we're always looking to be motivated to do something, like, oh, I got to be motivated to do that or motivated to do this. But when you have discipline, and you have not only discipline but a particular routine, and you've structured your life a certain way, and you've gotten so into a routine that it becomes second nature, and it's not so much you even having to think about what it is that you're doing or need to do or supposed to do. You just do it. Like getting out of bed. Like, there's this common thing where we want to snooze and go back to sleep. But if when the alarm goes off, you just get out of bed, no matter how you feel, and you do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you get to a place where you know that I've been so tired before and I still got out of bed. So there's never going to be a time where you feel something that you haven't felt already and overcame it and got on about your day. So I say that to say, yeah, the foundation, in my opinion, to kind of staving off procrastination is creating discipline and creating routines in your life in order to just have muscle memory, to where it's like, this is just what we do. It ain't nothing else to it. And I find myself slacking on my discipline, and I have been for some time now. And it can be a bit discouraging, because you're like, damn, I was so on point, and now I'm falling off, and now I'm procrastinating, and now I'm doing this, and I'm, or I'm not doing this. And yeah, it can be discouraging, but life has ebbs and flows and seasons for a reason. So all I know how to do is to try and get back in motion. If you fall out of motion, don't beat yourself up for not being in motion. If you notice yourself procrastinating, don't beat yourself up because you're procrastinating. Use that as fuel, and now be like, well, it's time for me to get back in my motion so I can get back to feeling like I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing, because that's ultimately what we're looking for, is that feeling that comes with being on point. And if you've never been on point and never felt like you're on point, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you've ever been in a place where you're just, training and just focused, just like a high level of focus, and you feel as if you're moving towards whatever goal or place that you want to be, it's a feeling that is unmatched, and it feels right. And when you start to fall away from that, it starts to feel like you're going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Whether or not that's true or false, because I guess that's not really, there's no real way to say that that's the case, but there's just this internal feeling where you feel like you're dialed in and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're moving towards some goal that you've set for yourself. You know what I mean? And ultimately, that's where we all want to be, I think, or at least a lot of us. I won't say everybody, because some people don't care at all. I've gotten comments on this channel of people who say that they would rather just live a miserable and unfulfilling life, and that's fine. Everybody has their thing. So I won't say everybody, but I think most of us want to feel like our life has a purpose and we're moving towards something. So get back on the horse if you fell off. Procrastination is in my experience no more than a lack of discipline. And if you're in a place right now where you feel like you're beating yourself up, give yourself some grace, because action is the only thing that's going to change anything, not you beating yourself up. You get me? So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Once again, peace.